So doodling, what is it and how great is it for helping you just relax? Today I'm going to show you just a few little options of some of the different shapes that I use when I doodle over my alcohol ink projects. So stick around. So before we dive in, I just wanted to take a second and thank you for watching my channel. Make sure to click the like button if you enjoy the video and subscribe to keep up with my weekly uploads. If you want to learn more about how to paint, please consider taking a class with me on my website at www.kellychasseffineart.com. That helps support me in this channel so that I can continue to make new videos for you every week. So I'm going to grab just some watercolor paper to practice on, and I've got my Sharpie, and I just want to show you a few different little doodles that you can use within your paintings. So for this one, I'm just using those little random dots, creating little circles. And again, you guys, it's just so therapeutic when, especially when you're not sure what you want to paint, or you just want to go back to those days where you didn't have to think about what you were doing. You were just in the moment, and it's super relaxing, super therapeutic, and it's just a really fun way to get your creative juices going, especially if you have some days where you're just really not feeling motivated or creative. So just creating some of these little random patterns over and over again is just wonderful. So this is another one, just a circle within a circle and connecting those. And another circular one is just creating those rings around another circle. And again, I'm not making these perfect. I'm just, they're different sizes. They're not completely centered. They're overlapping. Again, it's just a very fun little creation to make. Makes it very modern looking, I think. So here's another little one I like to do with little hash marks. You can start with the small hash marks, and then you can create some bigger ones. So you can alternate these if you want to. Make them longer, or you could make them a little bit wider apart. So again, that's 3 different ways to use this same pattern. You could also do it sideways and do the same thing, just making, longer ones, shorter ones. You could even give them a little curve to them, spreading them out, again, making them larger or smaller. And I like just a little slight curve to this one, especially if you have some lines that are more angular or rounded. And another very similar one with lines, again, making them all different lengths. So if you've got something, especially that's coming in, like I said, at an angle, and you want to give it more of a raised appearance, this works well for that. And then we could do hash mark sideways. So again, using those same lines and just different patterns. You could also do it a cross hatch, making little X's, which is really fun. Almost looks like gauze of some type. And again, with those lines, you can make more of a little curvy line. It gives that raised appearance to your work, almost like it has some bending in it, or a 3D look. And again, it makes some really tiny ones. Get all different sizes. And as you can see, I'm just dragging that pen down and just up and down motion. It gives it some really nice texture. And all of these look so different when you put them all together. And then we also have a spiral. You've probably seen this one many times. That one's always fun to do, a bunch of different sizes together. And then we also have these little rectangles and triangles, squares that you can overlap one another, again, just making some very random, like, geometric patterns, like little tiles overlapping one another. Again, the great thing about these things is it can be very messy. When you put it all together, it still looks really neat. Again, you can take those out further and further, and you're just filling in all of those little areas overlapping. You can start them out smaller in the middle, get bigger as you go out. There's so many options. And since we've done squares, some of my favorite ones actually, this is the Interconnecting Rings. And again, those circles can be all different sizes. They don't have to be perfectly round, all different shapes. A great little link. And speaking of links, you can do some very small circles like this and connect those all together like a little chain. And this is very similar to the other line work, except for I have a little bit more of a curve to this one. And just coming in a little smaller as you go towards that one side. So I'm just going to show you a couple other ones. I'll play some music and you can watch, but there are just so many different shapes and ways that you can create lines. You can make up your own. Just go with what you're feeling. Doodling is one of the things that I've been doing since I was a kid. I don't know if you remember being in school and if you ever were either bored or just weren't into something and you just find yourself kind of just doodling away, creating these little designs on your books or in your notebooks. It's just really fun, and it's a very calm and a fun thing to do, especially when you're feeling a little frustrated. So use it as your art therapy. So I hope you enjoyed these little doodles, and hopefully it took your mind off some crazy things that are happening right now and you're just mellowed out and enjoying the process a little bit. So if you have some alcohol ink paintings that you've done or some backgrounds you weren't happy with, this is the best thing ever to pull out, start using some pens with, and work with some of those paintings. I also have the Zen Doodle class if you want to check that out. I'll put the links down in the description box below for you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you click the like button if you enjoyed it, and we will see you guys next week. Have a great one. Bye-bye.